What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA, episode 392. I am Brendan. This is going to be the prelims from the UFC Fight Night, Nicolau versus Perez. This is going to be Rani Yahya versus Victor Henry. The rest of the prelims, we're going to break them all down round by round, talk about all the scores. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way, the next video is coming out. I'd appreciate it. No more intro. Let's go. All right. This fight was interesting. Let's see. How would I put this? It's not I was going to say changing of the guard, but it's not really. It's more of a good veteran test for somebody who still has plenty of experience in Victor Henry, but a good veteran test that was passed. Let's put it that way. So Yahya throwing a ton of hard low kicks out there, not really afraid of getting taken down, throwing kicks willy-nilly, throwing big looping shots. You know, Yahya gets a lift and takedown, but they get right back up. Henry isn't throwing enough in space and waiting way too much in the clinch. When they're in a clinch, he can control. He's just not doing anything. Both guys landing hard, firing in a phone booth at the end of the round. But Yahya, I think he landed more in this round. And you look at this, sure enough, 21-19. He had neither guy really had a ton of control. It's a minute to 48 seconds in favor of Henry, but it was all clinch stuff. It's not really a lot of control time, nothing so significant there. So I had Yahya winning 10-9. Second round starts to shift. You start to see it a little bit later on, but the round starts off right. It really is a tale of two halves. Henry just doesn't sit down on many of his shots, which is great for volume, but visually it doesn't put a ton of damage out there. And Yahya just throwing huge hooks, and when he lands, it's really big, and it appears to be a ton of damage. But as the fight goes on, Henry he's slick. His movement is slick. He's moving away from most of the shots coming back at him, making Yahya work really hard to mostly do nothing. And then Yahya starts slowing down. His shots are still coming out there. He's still throwing them. They're just not with as much emphasis or as often. He's just not throwing as much. Overall, he did throw more in this round, but remember, they had a lot of clinching in the first round, not a lot of clinching in this round. Henry was able to go. He keeps the pressure on as the round moves forward, keeping Yahya on the fence, and then Henry went to the body with the right hand, and then a 1-2 to the head, and Yahya goes down. Ton of damage. I think he could have even got the finish in this round if he made him stand back up, but he followed him 56-24 in favor of Henry. Not even close. So I had it 19-19. Last round, Yahya looking to grab some legs and reap, but it just couldn't keep him on the ground, couldn't control him, couldn't do anything. Henry staying really disciplined. He lands a really nice right hand, and Yahya goes down. Henry follows him down to the ground yet again, makes him stand up eventually, which I thought should have been immediately. Henry lands a right head kick, and Yahya is so tired and out of it that the ref waves it off. Like, he couldn't defend himself, wasn't doing anything, took some follow-up damage, just wasn't able to get it done. Wasn't able to get anything back at him. Wasn't able to get to the finish. So, great fight from Victor Henry. I think he always looks good. I think he looks disciplined. His striking looks excellent. His grappling is good enough. I think its grappling is good. He looks really complete as a fighter. He just doesn't have that thing, right? He just doesn't have that big punching power. Doesn't have that lethal submission ability. He's just a really good fighter. Somebody who looks like if he makes it into the rankings, he could stay there for a long time. Is one of those kind of guys, like a Neil Magny type. Obviously, totally different fight styles. Not the same fight style. I'm talking about overall career projection type of thing. Could he become the same thing? Could Neil Magny have become champion at a certain time? If all things had worked out in his favor, yeah, I think so. I think if the matchups kind of lined up, he could have been champion at some point. Same thing with Henry here. I think he could be champion. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. I think he's going to be a really good contender for a while with his skill set. Maybe a good ranked opponent for a while. All right. Austin Hubbard taking on Michael Figlak. Don't screw up that last name. Very back and forth. Both guys landing the jab and the right hand and even the lead hook. Just both guys, they called it a mirror matchup, and that's kind of what it looked like a lot of times. Both guys landing. Figlak was winding up a bit more for the right hand, and Hubbard uses that to get to the takedown. They get right back up. Anytime one of these finds success, the other one finds the mark as well. It's just instantly back and forth. This was a really close round. I lean towards Figlak getting the bigger reactions with a couple of his shots. Oh, and he outstruck him. So, I'm not crazy. 26-19, but this round felt a lot closer than that. It did not feel like there was a 7-strike differential. I felt like it was really back and forth, but I gave this first round to Figlak. I was pretty confident in that one. Second round, Hubbard finding some success early with a change in stance in that jab. Figlak is still pressing forward and even staggers Hubbard with a jab of his own. How bad was that? No way to know because it instantly fought, like they just kept moving. Hubbard has landed enough to bust Figlak's nose up, which is damage and can be counted it can be counted in visually, very evident. He was doing a better job landing with the volume this round. Again, a super close round though. Again, a 7-strike differential. I didn't think it was even that much. Austin Hubbard landing 37 to Figlak's 30. A close round, but I had this one for Hubbard. I felt like it could be all these scorecards. I felt like could be all over the place, but I gave this one to Hubbard. I had it 19-19 going to the third. So it really came down to this third round. They rush to the center and start trading like they have the entire fight. Figlak getting to the back body lock multiple times, just not able to do anything with it. Hubbard shoots a single, gets to the back body lock as well as able to drag Figlak to the ground and then land some damage along the fence on the way up. Some good shots there. Not a ton of damage, but enough. Hubbard shoots a takedown to end the fight, but gets sprawled on. Not a good look to end the round. And, honestly, that might have colored my opinion, but I felt like Figlak had done enough in this round, in a very close round. This was the closest striking, 36-32 in favor of Figlak. I gave him the fight. I thought he pulled it out 29-28. But here's the thing. They gave it to Hubbard. Looking at the scorecards here, all three judges gave the first 2 rounds to Hubbard. It really came down to that first round, which I thought, it had the largest striking differential. I don't know why they gave it. I didn't see anything in that round that Mike Bell, Eric Colon, and Brian Minner all saw it for us and Austin Hubbard. It's not how I saw it. That's not how I saw it. But not a bad. I thought it was close. I thought it was very close. It's just not. I thought Figlak did enough. All right. Heavyweight fight that looked like a heavyweight fight. Both guys looking to throw big shots and looking, like I said, I wrote down a classic heavyweight fight. Mays has landed the uppercut to the right straight. Machado landing Dontel Mays versus Cal Machado. The left straight with kicks to the body. Mays landing a right hand as he's backing up, and Machado goes down. It's going to win his round for him for sure. Look at the striking numbers here, 20-19. Machado wasn't able to do a lot to differentiate himself before that knockdown. So, second round. These were very close rounds as far as striking numbers go. Machado still finding the mark when he presses forward, and then Mays landing a counter nearly every time. Very close, back and forth, with Mays landing the bigger shots, Machado landing more early. Really close round, both guys landing down the stretch, more back and forth. I lean towards the volume of Machado. I thought Machado landed more here. He didn't, apparently. He got outstruck here 26-25, so again, only a 1-strike differential. So if that's the case, if that really is the striking numbers here, and he landed more up top, maybe some of those things that I counted towards strikes, Machado didn't land in my head. So I could see that going for Mays. But I gave the second round to Machado when I watched it live. Machado's able to keep the volume up and find the mark with those big left hands. Machado keeps waving him in and sticking his tongue out, looking to get the finish, and takes it. He took it from me. He outstruck him here 32-21. Lots of volume, more damage. Looking at the scorecards, all three judges saw it the same way. They all gave Mays those first 2 rounds. I just didn't see, again, very close. That second round for me, I thought that Machado landed more than I guess he did. I don't know if those numbers are right, but I can only go off of the data that's collected. I'm not going to go collect the data myself. No way. Marnic Mann versus Ketlen Souza. Weird fight. Just pretty much a one-way fight for the most part. Going with the low kicks for both women. Mann taking some up top to the body. Souza with the wide right hand, finding the mark, but leaves herself open, way too open in my opinion. But Mann's not able to capitalize. Souza's winding up with that right hand, looking for it over and over, and most of them are blocked, but they do land hard when they are landing. Souza's with the takedown, but doesn't really want to play on the ground, and then Souza landing the bigger shots in this round. So she outstruck her in this round, in this 23-11. She outstruck her in every single round. It's pretty much the story of the fight. Second round, Souza with her pressure stopping Mann from doing anything productive. Just looked like a deer in the headlights out there. Mann just not even, I think she failed on the headlock toss. I didn't even know she gave out really any real significant offense, if you want to call it that. 27-11 in favor of Souza. Last round, it's more of the same. Souza starting to land heavy combos and Mann on the fence. Mann used the Kimura to sweep, got on top. she just couldn't do enough in any position to win her anything, to be honest. So a bad fight. It's not a fun fight to watch either. Not a lot of action. All right, James Llontop versus Chris Padilla. Llontop missing weight. Half-pound weight miss is still a weight miss. Can't do that shit, man. I talked about it in the main card with Onama. Half-pound weight miss is still a weight miss. Can't do it. Llontop using the hard low kicks and Padilla counters with a takedown, landing some elbows on the way up. Was not able to control him on the ground, but was able to get those takedowns relatively easily when he wanted to. Padilla gets another takedown, and he was kind of losing on the feet, in my opinion. If you look at the striking numbers here while the fight was going on, 19-12 while it lasted. Padilla, taking some big shots, gets the fight to the ground, immediately takes the back. Beautiful back take, gets a rear naked choke finish. What a way to finish the fight early. Made the adjustment on the fly. Really nice. Ivana Petrovic versus Liang Na. This one, I think the judges, or not the judges, but the commentary was a little weird. Na looking for that body kick, getting the takedown the fence right away. Petrovic scrambles, gets on top with 120 left. Petrovic goes for an armbar as she loses the position and lands some strikes as she attempts it. For the rest of the round, that should be her round, right? 10-9 for Petrovic. Now, she got outstruck here 11-4, but the thing is, she was able to do something with her grappling, whereas Liang Na was just sitting there. Right, the submission. It doesn't have a submission attempt for her. That's bullshit. That was a close submission attempt. That armbar. I gave her this first round. I didn't feel like there was that much damage. Not a lot of damage either way. So I had it virtually even. It all came down to the grappling. And when Na was on top, she just laid there. Petrovic actually went for something. Even she did technically land on bottom. You look at the control time here. I bet you they gave a lot of that top time, even though she was defending the armbar. They gave that time to Na because it was not that different. I had Petrovic taking this round. Na was able to land some sloppy shots as she walks in the second round. Petrovic gets a body lock takedown. Petrovic spends half the round on top, landing damage. Good round for her. 31-12. Finally able to get some control time in there. 20-18 in my opinion. The last round here, Petrovic right in on the takedown, gets an arm triangle slash and rear naked choke finish. It was very weird. That's not a normal finish that you see very often, but clearly Na just didn't want to be in there anymore. All three judges gave the first round to Na as well. I'm Chris Lee, Mike Bell, and Adelaide Bird. So Chris Lee is a stinker as well. Man, they were giving Adelaide Bird a lot of leeway, letting her work a lot. I would never let her judge. I wouldn't let her judge a high school basketball game. Hard inside low kick. This is Gabriel Benitez versus Maheshate. Hard inside low kicks from Benitez. Maheshate kicking back, trying to go up top. There's lots of close fights on this card now that I'm remembering it. Both guys are finding the marks at entry at different times, almost like an anime samurai duel, where both guys line up, they make the big noise. There's lots of standing around, and then and then with a slash, and then one of them falls afterwards. That's what it felt like. They would go nothing, nothing, nothing. One of them would land in the scenario, and then they would go back. But they both throw, and then it was actually kind of entertaining. And Maheshate found the chin with that right hand and the hook, using that tight lead hook on the entry. Oh, and he was using that right hand to the body as well. Benitez staggers Maheshate for a split second. I don't know if the judges caught that one. Maheshate playing a dangerous game with his head on the center line, but he is winning it with more damage, in my opinion. I thought he landed the bigger shots in this round. It was 23-21 in favor of Gabriel Benitez, so he did get outlanded, but I thought Maheshate landed the bigger rounds in this, bigger shots in this round. Maheshate is pressing the issue with more action, still getting tagged on the way in, but also landing with that hard right hand and the lead hook. Benitez will find the mark with low kicks and go upstairs and look disciplined, but then he wades in with his hands down or to the sides and takes a couple big shots and undoes all that good work he put in. Such a close round with Maheshate making the difference with the forward pressure. The damage was damn close in the second round. I gave this second round to Maheshate as well. Here's the thing. If you look at where's Benitez going to the legs? Yeah. So here's the big difference. You look at the striking numbers here. 10 of those strikes in that first round were leg kicks from Benitez, and in the second round there were 13 leg kicks from him. So yes, they do damage, and I'm not one of those people who disregards leg kicks. I think they're incredibly important and damaging. I know they suck. Not putting them down. I'm just saying, when it comes to a hard right hand to the face versus one hard low kick, damage for damage, who's going to take more? I'll take the right hand most of the time, or the hard right hand, hard left hand, like a hard straight. I'll take that most of the time. It doesn't mean it always is, but when I was watching this, those leg kicks, they were good, but I didn't think they outdid the damage that Maheshate threw up top. Now, all that being said, for the first 2 rounds, last round comes around. This round looking the same way, but with less low kicks from Benitez. Now, notice he actually went to the well less this round, only 4 low kicks in this round, but he went up top much more. Benitez avoided the bigger shots in this last round, and he just outlanded him way more, 47-33 in this round. Big differential, lots more damage in this round. Definitely Benitez round. Close rounds overall. Let's see how the judges had it, because it was a split decision here. So Eric Colon gave the last 2 rounds to Benitez, and then Brian Minner and Tony Weeks gave the first 2 rounds to Maheshate. So it really came down to that second round and how you scored it. I get it. I don't think that's a bad card. I'm not going to fight him on that one. All right, that is it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. It means a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it. Like the video if you liked it. I will see you next time. Hope you guys have an amazing week. Love y'all. Peace.